Hello, I'm Benny Westside, and today we're going to take a look at Super Skrull. I'm very excited to go over this with you. I'm highly anticipating Dark Dimension 6. I'm looking forward to theory crafting, building teams, putting out content, and the first step of it is looking at Super Skrull, the ultimate prize at the end of it. And I think it's going to be a good one. So before we look at the kit, I want to talk about Exposed. Exposed is the new effect that he's bringing with him. This is a new one. It's neither negative nor positive. It's in the charged revive once vulnerable category, so it can't be cleansed like regular. It doesn't expire. It lasts until the end of the fight, unless somebody clears it. And so far, Super Skrull's kit only applies it but doesn't clear it. It doesn't bring any inherent effects. Say vulnerable brings 10% damage increase. This isn't like that. It's more of a mark that different characters are going to be able to interact with unique methods. So Super Skrull has different callouts in his kit that change based on Exposed. Say charged, for example, for Shuri or Doctor Strange Heartless or Black Panther, it means something else. Exposed is going to be similar, just on the enemy side. So with that, let's look at Super Skrull's kit. We're going to start with his passive, the Fantastic one. The first time this character falls under 50% health, he's going to clear all negative effects, heal self, and gain stealth. This is basically the Heroes for Hire reset, but he's also going to get stealth on top of it. And while he has stealth, he's going to be able to do 20% damage reduction. That's really fantastic. It's blanket for his whole team. And his passive isn't the only way he gains stealth, so that's going to be great. When he's stunned, he's going to clear stun from himself and stun the stunner, which is beautiful. When an enemy gains a positive effect, or when he or any ally gains a negative effect, he's going to heal self for 5% of his max health and then fill speed bar by 10%. Given how much buffing and debuffing goes on in the game right now, he's going to be gaining speed bar left and right. And this is great because his speed is 124, which I wouldn't consider slow. It's mid to high mid in the current meta, but some of the current favorites are higher, like 127. I think Red Hulk is 130, so he's going to be able to keep up with them with the speed bar gain mechanic. He's going to lower armor for all enemies, flat out, no callouts. Nemesis does it, but only on enemies with bleed, so this one's without restrictions, which is fantastic. He's going to gain 50% max health and give 25% max health to all allies. He's going to gain 10% in damage and focus, plus 10 per hero ally. It doesn't call out non-summoned, so if you just have 3 villain allies and a Nick Fury, and Nick Fury goes before him and summons, he's gonna get 40% basically on damage and focus. And on the flip side, he's gonna gain 10% armor and resistance, plus 10 per villain ally. Similarly, no call out to summons, so if you bring a Hela or a Kingpin, those are gonna count towards this. He has similar callouts in his special and his ultimate abilities, also in his basic, so having a mixture of villains and heroes on his comp is gonna be helpful. Enemies, so now we're getting into the exposed callouts. In his passive, enemies with exposed cannot gain safeguard, deflect, or evade. As I said, exposed doesn't expire unless somebody specifically clears it. And so far, Super Skrull's not going to clear it. So until the end of the fight, those characters won't be able to gain safeguard, deflect, or evade. If they had it prior, they're going to be able to extend it. When any enemy with exposed is attacked, this character, Super Skrull, is going to attack all enemies for 5% of his own max health and barrier self for 5% of his max health. This is great. Alright, let's take a look at his active abilities and see how he applies Exposed and how he interacts with it. So let's first look at his special, Bending Flames. This is his first turn ability. It's on a 3-turn cooldown. Attack primary target for 450% damage and apply exposed. This is where it comes from. If this character spawned with or has 2 or more hero allies, he's going to apply ability block for 2 turns to the primary target. So if you have 3 villain allies plus Nick Fury is going to go before him, spawn the summons, then the summons count and you're going to be able to get the benefit of the ability block. And then on the flip side, attack primary and adjacent targets for 350% damage and reduce their speed bar by 20%. And if he spawned with or has 2 villain allies, he's going to reduce an additional 40%. That's 60% conal speed bar reduction. That's fantastic. After this, he's going to clear stealth on all enemies. It doesn't say all targets, so it's all enemies. It's not just the ones that he rewound. And then he's going to gain the following positive effects. +2 defense up, +2 offense up, 3 deflect, immunity, 2 immunity, and stealth. This is his other means of getting stealth, which is great because it triggers his passive. This attack gains a bunch of extra focus, unblockable, undodgeable, and it's also uncounterable. So it's a great ability. Okay. Now his turn 2 is going to be his basic because his ultimate is a turn 3 ability. Let's look at his basic, and this is a hefty basic. I would say this is like a year 2, 3, or even now. Gwenpool's ultimate does this almost, or specially. It's a fantastic basic. Okay, Skrull Barrage. If the primary target has exposed, clear all barrier on the primary target. Attack primary target for 400% piercing and chain to 3 adjacent targets for 370% piercing, and flip 3 positive effects into negatives on each target. This chain alone is like an ultimate ability on a random character. He's gonna attack 4 characters and flip effects and apply piercing damage. Okay, if he had 2 or more villain allies, he's gonna ignore defense up. If he had 2 or more hero allies, he's gonna apply disrupted also on each target. He's gonna gain defense up for 2 turns and safeguard for 2 turns and 10% barrier. On his basic, this is his basic. It's crazy. Okay, this attack can chain to stealth targets. However, counterattack will break the chain. He gains 200% extra focus for this, and it's unavoidable. Let's look at the ISO attack. If the primary target has exposed, he's still gonna clear barrier. He's gonna attack the primary for 300 piercing, and he's gonna flip 3 positive effects. The villain callout is there, he's gonna ignore defense up. The hero callout is there, he's gonna apply disrupted. And he's still gonna apply barrier to himself. He's gonna get 200% extra focus for this, but he doesn't have the unavoidable on his ISO attack. Okay. Now finally, let's look at his ultimate. Psionic Supernova, this is a 6-turn cooldown and it's a turn 3 ability. He's going to apply trauma for 2 turns to the primary target. He's going to flip defense up on the whole field and attack all enemies for 700% piercing and apply heal block and offense down. If he had 2 or more villain allies, he's going to do an additional 300 piercing. That's 1000 piercing damage, ignores armor. That's huge. If he spawned with 2 or more hero allies, or has 2 or more hero allies, he's gonna apply trauma for 2 turns to all enemies, not just the primary. He's gonna barrier himself and all allies for 30% of his max health. And he's gonna get a bunch of extra focus, again, unavoidable, unblockable, uncounterable. This is a massive kit, it's a fantastic kit. He's gonna be a great character in the meta. I'm looking forward to playing with him. He's a cosmic villain bio brawler. He's versatile, he's not tagged to anything right now. So we're going to be able to use him a lot. I think because he's based off of the Fantastic Four and has this versatile set of abilities, they made him a versatile kit. So he can be any of the ISO classes basically. He can be a great striker because say you start with his special, right? And you're on a vulnerable target. Because you're going to apply the exposed on his ISO attack, the exposed callout is going to be in effect. And his ISO attack does so much already that his striker is very valuable. You can make him a raider because he does a lot of multi-hits. You can make him a healer because he takes a lot of turns and has healing built into his kit, so it's going to amplify that. And my current favorite, you might know, is Blue 5 Fortifier. Because he's going to be taking all this turn, he has barrier built into his kit. He's going to be unkillable because he's draining constantly, and it's going to expand his max barrier. So I think this is going to be a really fun character. I'm looking forward to talking more about it, theory crafting around him, and also of course, looking at Dark Dimension 6 and doing more content for that. Thank you for going over the Super Skrull kit with me today. I hope to see you guys in the next one.